Hello everyone, my name is Miss Megan and I'm the ELA at the Five Forks branch. Welcome to another of our caregiver education videos. Today's topic is going to be on using and applying Montessori education principles with young children at home. Before we go any further, I do want to clarify that I am not an expert on this subject, but want to provide a basic overview and resources for those interested in further research. First, a little history lesson. Maria Montessori was born in 1870, and she was the first woman in Italy to receive a medical degree. She worked in the fields of psychiatry, education, and anthropology. In 1907, she founded the first Casa dei Bambini, or Children's House, in Rome, based on her discovery that in the right environment, children will teach themselves. So what is the Montessori method? It is based on observing and supporting the natural development of children and allowing children to initiate their own learning. One of the key elements within the classroom is to have mixed age groups. For example, 1 to 3-year-olds would be together and 4 to 6-year-olds would be together, etc. Children would be allowed to choose their own work among the provided activities, and there would be an emphasis on provided uninterrupted time for concentrating on the various tasks. How do these techniques benefit children? In a Montessori environment, children are free to develop creativity, problem-solving skills, and time management skills. They also learn to care for their environment and belongings, as well as caring for each other with kindness. Since children are given a lot of choice in what they work on, they enjoy their work more readily remember what they have learned, and ultimately become lifelong learners. They are also exposed to everyday skills like cooking, cleaning, building, and gardening, as well as character development, such as moving gracefully, speaking politely, and being considerate and helpful to others. Although the Montessori method was originally intended for use in a classroom, the principles and techniques can certainly be used at home, and I'm going to share some examples of how you can do that. So how do you apply these techniques at home? There are several approaches you can take, some more extensive than others. We won't go over specifics on how to set up a Montessori learning space in your home, but for more information on that, do check out the resource page for this program. Instead, I'm going to share with you an example of a program I created and ran based off of basic Montessori techniques and share how you can use these same activities at home. A while ago, I did a program for young children called Laundry Day, which included several activities that revolved one way or another around doing laundry. There were 5 stations in total. I explained and demonstrated each station to the children before letting them take the lead and explore on their own. In the following slides, I'll explain each activity and also included an additional one that you can easily do each day. Before we move on, I do want to note that I'm going to discuss using a variety of different items. Do not feel any pressure to purchase a bunch of new items to do any of these activities. While these were the items that I used, take a look around your home and see what you already have available to you. What is something that you can easily transfer or adjust to use for one of these activities? With all that said, let's get started. First, learning to pour. Learning to pour liquid from one container to another takes quite a bit of hand-eye coordination and practice to master. One way for children to practice this is through pouring rice, beans, or even beads from one container to the other. While you can do this activity with water pitchers and cups, for a laundry day activity, you can use a small, empty, and clean laundry detergent bottle. Fill the bottle 2/3 of the way with the rice or beans or beads, and then lay down a tablecloth or blanket to make for easy cleanup. Model for your child how to pour from the bottle to a bowl. Offer the bottle to your child and have them pour into the bowl. Once they feel comfortable with this, you can make the container they pour into smaller and have them pour into a cup. You can even draw lines on the outside of the cup, numbered 1 to 3 or 1 to 5, and ask them to pour to a certain line. These skills can also be translated to the dinner table, where you can provide them with a pitcher 2/3 full of water and have them pour the drinks around the table. Learning to match up socks is a great way to develop pattern and color recognition. You can do this activity in a number of ways. You can provide your child with a small pile of socks and model matching the pairs. Pick up one sock from the pile and ask them questions as you are sorting. What color is the sock? Does it have a pattern? Etc. Then have them find the matching sock. You can also create flashcards with different sock images and have them match the images to each other. Similar to learning how to match socks, learning to sort laundry is a great way to learn new vocabulary and work on colors. You can use a basket of clothes and ask your child to help sort them. Start by showing a piece of clothing that would go into each pile, whites, darks, and brights as an example, and create a space for each one. Then have your child pick up a piece of clothing from the basket. Ask them what color it is and which pile they think it would go into. Gently correct them if they make a mistake, and explain the differences between the items, and move on to the next piece. If you don't want to use your clothes, you can also use towels, pieces of felt, or even flashcards. Once the laundry is done, it has to be folded and put away. This is another great exercise for developing early spatial reasoning and following directions. Before jumping straight into folding clothes, start your child off with folding handkerchiefs. Use a marker and a ruler and draw a horizontal and vertical line intersecting in the middle of the handkerchief so you have 4 squares. Demonstrate how to fold the handkerchief in half and then half again till it makes a square. You can also make a handkerchief with a line that runs from one corner to the other and have them fold into a triangle. Once you've demonstrated to them, let your child give it a go. You can also do this with a washcloth or a really small piece of fabric. And once they have the basics down, you can have them start folding washcloths, towels, and more. As they grow and develop their skills, you can show them how to fold other items of clothing. While clotheslines are not used as readily as they once were, this was the activity that was the biggest hit at my Laundry Day program. It was a great way for children to develop muscle control. You'll need a long piece of string, some tape, some random pieces of lightweight fabric or socks, we use scraps of felt in my program, and clothespins. Stretch the string between 2 surfaces at roughly head height for your child. I recommend attaching the string on top of these items so it's less likely to fall. Provide a basket of fabric scraps, socks, or felt, and a few clothespins. Demonstrate how to open and close the clothespin and how to clip it around the string. Let the child try and then show them how to hang the pieces of fabric to the clothesline using the clothespins. Safety note about this activity. This is an activity that does require adult supervision. Explain to your child that the clothespins are not a toy and that we shouldn't use them on our skin or our fingers because they will pinch and hurt. Make sure to purchase clothespins with a looser spring, or you can loosen the springs yourself by opening and closing them multiple times. While using a laundry hamper wasn't an activity we did during the program, it is a simple way to get your children involved in cleaning up and putting away dirty clothes. Have a laundry hamper somewhere in the house. When it's time to put away their dirty clothes, have your children gather up their items and walk with them to the hamper. Model for them how to put the clothes in and then have them do the same with the items they've brought with them. Explain that only dirty clothes go into the hamper so they can be washed later. This activity does require repetition, but will instill that knowledge of where dirty clothes go. If your family doesn't use a hamper, change the activity around so you can explain and demonstrate what your family uses. Before we go, I wanted to provide you with some resources with additional information on bringing Montessori techniques into your home. We have several books in the GCPL catalog available to you for a request. These books give an array of ideas for activities as well as how to set up your home and space for Montessori-style learning. While I'd recommend all of these titles and resources, definitely check out The Montessori Toddler and How to Raise an Amazing Child the Montessori Way. They go into more depth about Montessori principles, what to expect from different ages, and more. I've also included a picture book biography of Maria Montessori if you're interested in sharing her story with your children. Outside of the library, there are some great free online resources available to you as well. Here are a few with great information and ideas on how to bring Montessori education to your home. These are just a few of the online resources available to you. I'll include links to other websites and blogs in the resource list. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you learned a lot and that I provided you with a good starting point for applying Montessori principles at home. Remember to check out the resource list for more information about the items available through the library and online. Again, thank you for joining me and good luck.